Hey everybody, Josh Davis here, and this is my brand new journal. I want to share it with you. I've never done anything quite like this before, and I'm kind of excited about it. I decided to go to my local thrift store and pick up a book that already exists, a book with pictures and text, a book that called my attention, and I'm going to turn this book into my personal journal. Now, I've been journaling for years, literally almost every morning since I was in high school. I've put my words, my thoughts, my feelings, my experiences down on the page as a prayer unto God. I've got books and books and books full, but this is my first time ever taking an existing book and turning it into my journal. So I want to let you in on the process. It started with what book to choose. I went to my local thrift store and I perused a bunch of books. I even bought maybe 6 or 7, brought them home, and eventually I decided to go with the one that was calling my attention the most. Now, I had some mental hurdles to get over because this book is full of pictures that I like, but also a lot of text. And I just struggled with the idea of how am I going to use this book that has so much text to turn it into a journal for myself, because I've got a lot of text I want to bring to these pages. But I decided to go with what actually drew my attention the most, and that was this book. So here we go. Let me open a few pages and share them with you. On this page, I just took a simple quote that stuck out to me. It says, "Forgiveness is to let go of our hope for a different past." I just lettered it on to one of the leaves on this photo. And then on the adjacent page, I covered up a bunch of text with a poem that someone gave me. Someone shared with me the poem Thresholds by John O'Donohue. And I just printed it out, used masking tape, and covered up a bunch of text with my own poem, and then I added my reflections and thoughts on the side. I decided to use a green marker to kind of tie in the color from the adjacent page. On this page, I turned existing text into a blackout poem. I titled it Coming Home. This is what it says. The thin blue haze of time, diaphanous veil that conceals nothing. Beyond the cradle, transpiring patiently through the exhilarating spring, the sullen summer, the smoky autumn. Aspirations follow rich meditation, all deep, all lonely. Drifting pensively on the horizon, inviting questions. It was time to go home. Next, I took some of the blank space that did exist. There are several blank pages in this book, and I turned them into a place where I could share my daily reflections. Every day, I pray the Examine prayer, which helps me pay attention to my emotions, the things that I'm grateful for, the ways God has shown care and love towards me. And so each day, I just have a little space on one of these blank pages where I can jot the date and a few of my reflections as I pray that Examine prayer. On this page, I took the white border around the picture and I wrote some of the text from Romans chapter 5. Several of the verses there were really jumping out at me that day, and so I wrote them in different ways and in different versions. The verses and phrases that stuck out to me the most, I wrote the most often around the edges of this picture. Now, I've already got some spiritual practices and some prompts that I've gone through in this journal so far, and I've only been in this journal about a week, but I've got some spiritual practices and prompts that I want to share with you in subsequent videos. But for now, I'm just going to say I've got a couple questions about this journal as I start. One is, what's going to happen with the outside? Will I decorate it with some kind of word or image? What will it look like on the outside? What will I do? And then on these text-rich pages, how will I make space for my own text, for my own story to come out on the pages of this book that already has so much text in it itself? So I really don't have any idea how that's going to happen. I'm going to try some different things and I'll let you in on the process. Meanwhile, maybe you'll grab a book that's meaningful to you, or go to your local thrift store and find something that grabs your attention and try turning it into a journal for yourself or a journal for someone that you love. This is just Josh Davis, and I love to help you make space to engage with your own soul and to engage with God in creative ways. Follow me at www.patreon.com/justjoshdavis for dozens of posts of creative content that will help you engage your soul with God. I hope you'll join me.